Hello everybody, hola, namaste and welcome to my channel as always. Today's game which I'm going to show is considered by many people as one of the best chess games played, and it also features a move which again is considered by many people as probably one of the best and amazing moves ever played in the game of chess. And when I saw that game, I was like, you know what, I have to show this game on my channel. So it was played between Sigbert Tarrasch and the allies as they were known. Four people. It was Di Mariotti, I Napoli, De Simone and Del Guidici. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. In case not, please leave it in the comment section. So Tarrasch was white, and let's see what how the game happened. Let's jump right into it. Tarrasch opened with f4, which is called the bird's opening. We have d5, knight f3, c5, e3, knight c6, bishop b5, pinning this knight to the king. We have bishop d7, unpinning, castles, e6, b3, making room for this bishop to have a very nice square on the b2 place on the b2 square, sorry, and the bishop will become a very nice sniper across this long diagonal. So we have queen c7 and bishop b2 as planned. We have f6 and c4, striking kind of in the center. You don't want black to have such good center control. So the knight goes back, offering a trade of bishops, and Tarrasch just simply developed his knight to c3. Now in case the bishop captures on b5, the knight jumps to b5 and it challenges the queen, and it will be a very nice outpost for the white knight. So we have knight to h6. This is the only good square for the knight, because as you can see, f6 was pushed, so the normal square for the knight is taken away. At the same time, the other knight is on e7, so you have to develop it on h6, unfortunately. So after this, we have rook to c1. So trades. We have knight captures and queen d7. Here you have to be careful in these kind of positions. You don't want to play something like queen c8, because then this just forks the king and the queen, and you lose the game very badly. That would be very bad. So after this, we have queen d7 and queen e2, nicely developing the queen. Now as you can see, the queen controls these nice diagonals, and it's kind of nicely centralized and placed. So we have knight to c6, takes in the center, takes again, and immediately we have e4. As again, it's basic principles of chess. When you see your opponent having control in the center, you always want to challenge it with your own pawns. So castles, queenside, and Tarrasch pushed e5. So we have a6 pushing the knight back, knight comes to c3, and b5 as well. And as you can see, this is not something that you would normally want to do. I mean, you see this kind of play in the King's Indian defense, where it's a kingside castle and then the pawns start pushing down the board, but it kind of compromises the position of your king, which you will see in some time. So Tarrasch immediately played a4, and we have b4 as well, challenging this knight. At the same time, as you can see, now this queen becomes active across this diagonal. So the knight goes back, and the king has to come to b7 to guard the weak a6 pawn, which is being attacked by the queen. So we have takes on f6, takes back, and bishop on f6. As you can see, now the bishop is targeting both these rooks, and the allies defend it very nicely. They first play rook to e8, now attacking the white queen on e2. So we have knight to e3 blocking, and we have the other rook coming to g8. Now as you can see, it seems as though black took care of his problems, at the same time opening up, giving the rook a very nice open file. And as you know, rooks are extremely dangerous on the open files. So let's see what Tarrasch played after this. He played queen to d3, and we have a knight to g4, immediately challenging this extremely strong bishop. So this bishop is probably the strongest piece that Tarrasch has, and as you guys will see, this game is entirely about this beautiful dark sword bishop. I mean, when I think of it, I just get a very nice smile on my face, and even you will when you see what exactly this bishop did at some point. So let's see. So you don't want to trade this bishop off for this knight. So Tarrasch just captured, and we have queen captures. Now it seems dangerous because you're threatening checkmate on g2, but after rook f2, all your problems are taken care of. Now the rook can even double up on the c file and place some pressure, and in fact it does two amazing jobs. So the best move in this position. So the queen has to go back, there's nothing it can do there, and knight jumps to e5. Now you want to trade off this nice defender of the black king. So takes, and the bishop assumes a nice central position. Now as you can see, this sniper is beautifully cutting across these two nice diagonals. So in this position, probably g7, bishop to g7 should have been played, trying to challenge white's bishop. As you know, I mean, if your opponent has any strong piece, you should try to remove that piece with your own. So the rook comes to c8, and we have queen to f3, now challenging this d5 pawn. So the king moves ahead. I didn't understand the logic behind this move, honestly. Maybe it was to get off this diagonal, but then maybe you should have played something like king to a7, at least stuck him in the corner, because now he's marching down the board like a lone warrior. It's not something you want to do when, especially there are queens on the board. So we have d3. Now you want to prepare rook c2, doubling on the c file, and bishop comes to h6. Now as you can see, this bishop is not really very strong on this diagonal, because you would never, Tarrasch would probably never push f5 in this position, as it would make his very strong bishop lose its support. So again, g7 was probably the best square for the dark squared bishop. So the rook gets doubled, and this is probably the blunder which the allies made, pushing d4, because again, now as you can see, it opens up the diagonal for the queen, and we have a check. King moves. You don't really get anything by capturing this pawn, because then you'll get rook captures, rook captures, rook captures, and then the king has nowhere to go. He'll have to start coming back. Then the bishop can capture the d4 pawn, and then probably you would even end up losing your queen. So that's not something you would want in this kind of position. So the king went to b5, and this is where Tarrasch ended the game, and this is the beautiful move. Unfortunately got played right now, my mistake. But this is in case you guys want to stop and pause the video, please try to do it and find the move which wins the game for Tarrasch in this position. He played bishop c7, and this is just beautiful. Look at this. So the idea, what is the idea of this move? So basically, the bishop is now blocking this rook's influence over this c5 pawn. So if, for example, if you do nothing, say for example, if you try to first, let's see, if you play a slow move like this, then this is just checkmate. As you can see, all these squares are taken away from the king, so that's not possible. So in case, let's see what happens if the rook captures. If the rook captures, then comes a beautiful queen b7 with check. Now the only move is, again, as you can see, all these squares are taken. Again, if you play king captures, then you're going to get this, no square for the king. You're going to have to give up the rook, and again, this is going to be checkmate. So you're going to have to capture the queen, unfortunately, but sorry, yeah, you're going to have to capture the queen here, but then again, that does nothing, because again, this is checkmate. So yeah, there's nothing. This was a zugzwang position, and in this position the allies had to resign the game. And yeah, that bishop to c7 move, my goodness, this is just, look at this. Like I said, this game was entirely about this dark squared bishop, and wow, what a move. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and we'll be continuing the coverage of like more games like these, the best chess games ever played. So yeah, see you next time. Cheers.